What's poppin' YouTube? What's going on? I'm tired. Oh man. Obviously the video you saw was just me having the time of leaving and showing you guys the stuff that I picked up. Thanks to Fam Alex and Fam Erik. Invite me up to Westchester. Took the drive up north. To go to that event. I don't know why I still got this damn thing on me. But, we went to see Larry Hama and got some stuff signed. So, months ago I got like 3 of these G.I. Joe painter hats. As you can see, it says to Mike, Harry Lama, 2024. All 3 of us wore these hats. I picked up 3 of them. I should have picked up the other one. But I picked up these hats in Columbus a while ago, and I got a good deal on them. And, I should have picked up the 4th one to give to my boy Dave, my childhood friend. I wasn't fucking thinking. But, if I ever come across anything like that again, I won't exclude him. Anyway, so, I did get some items from Meadowlands because I woke up late. I woke up around. I got out of bed around 6:45 or something like that. I called my boy Tony maybe about 2 or 3 minutes prior to that. He was my motivation to get up to go there because I was gonna stay home for another 45 minutes or so, then just head straight up to Westchester. Surprisingly, Erik and Fam, Fam Erik and Alex got there before me, almost about an hour, maybe more than an hour before they supposedly had opened. But I guess I don't know what the hell they were thinking there, but they took basically an extra 30 minutes just to get shit up and going at this event. It kind of reminded me of that I went to a church. Where the hell was that church at? It wasn't in Kearney. Where was it? It was in some part of Jersey. It wasn't Clifton. Anyway, it kind of reminds me of this church. They were a way bigger place, but they had like very little bit of toys. It was like a big open space. I guess that would be like their main gymnasium or something like that. I don't really know, or theater or whatever the hell. But people had some toys, but prices were crazy. One guy had one of these Chikogan robots I needed, but the price he had on it, he was like, I'm not gonna lie. I did tell Erik and Alex that I thought that prices weren't gonna be that. It wasn't gonna be as cheap as most of the shows in Jersey, because Jersey, a lot of the shows people are more willing to deal, and they are a little cheaper than New York prices. I've been down here so long that now when I see prices that I normally would jump on, I'm like, is this motherfucker out his mind? You know what I'm saying? So, obviously I've been here for 7 years, and for the 7 years I've been here, I've been hitting up a lot of flea markets, of course, garage sales, yard sales, and not only thrifting, but especially hitting up a lot of toy conventions and toy shows and stuff like that. So I look at prices way differently than how I used to look at them. Obviously, for obvious reasons, as I just said. But he had one of those like vinyl Chikogan robots from the 70s. I need 2 more to complete my guys, but I know he's got all his missiles, right? No, he's missing 2. And this one here is missing 1. So I'm missing 3 altogether because they all take the same missiles. But he had the one that comes with like these shooting ducks. It was really nice, but for what he wanted, I felt like the stickers on it should have been slightly better. And I asked him, I said, well, I forgot I think he had 3 something on it. And he was only willing to go like $15 under. Everybody seemed to fit in that category of going $5 to $10 under. And it's funny because when I do toy shows, man, my price is like if I'm asking fucking $300 on something, I would do $240, $250 on it. You know what I'm saying? But and nobody here was willing to do that. So I'm guessing that they probably had a lot of money invested in the tickets because it's a 2-day event. So I don't really know, but you know, my boy and his wife, I met them at Eric's show, at, you know, Scumbag Eric's show in Woodbridge. I would not go there for shit. I won't even go there. I mean, even if somebody paid me to go in, I wouldn't want them to waste their money because I wouldn't want that piece of shit prick, his bastard father and his retarded brother, to even attempt to think that I need them. Fuck them. Fuck the Edison show they got going up. I don't give a fuck. But anyway, I was, you know, some people were like, oh, I don't see you at the show. And I explained it to them. And I'm not going to, you know, feed much into it. But, you know, there's one brother, you know, there's one dude. He's white. And his wife is white. I can still say brother. You know, real cool guy. And they're from Staten Island. And real cool dude, man. And, you know, I saw them there. They didn't really have anything for me, and what they did have, G.I. Joe-wise, was boxed, and on top of it being boxed, I already have it loose. I'm not really a big box G.I. Joe guy unless the stuff is really, really cheap, and or if I need it, excuse me. But, yeah. I didn't buy one toy. Everything was just getting stuff signed by Larry Hama, as well as I picked up you know, 2 G.I. Joe books, 2 of the Marvel #1s. That seemed to be a book that's been going up in value a lot. And I've seen these books plenty of times over the last year. Especially last year. Excuse me. I've seen them sell for around $40-50. Now I paid almost twice that for them. So I'm going to show you that. You guys already seen the video with the stuff that I had signed, like I'm about to say Shakespeare. Wow, the the Snake Eyes sword that was signed by Larry. The Snake Eyes helmet. Again, my my box sealed G.I. Joe trading cards. One of the 2 G.I. Joe regular NES, aka Nintendo games. He signed that as well. And some books I picked up from him. And yeah, went back and I brought 2 #1s. I paid under $200 for one. And then I turned around and got a nice copy that Fam Erik and Alex talked me into getting another one, because I was going to get the direct, but they said, nah, get the newsstand one. It was more, it was like, it was $45 more. But you know, Alex was right. It was a better copy. And I brought it not only because I have 2 copies, but I brought it also so that way Larry can sign it, since we were already on our way out anyway. And I was like, you know what? I learned a lot about Carrie. I learned a lot because of the whole Carrie Fisher incident, and I'm going to explain to you why. All right. So back in 2017-ish or 18, I met Ralph Macchio at, you know, New York Comic Con and Jacob Jefferson. We were in the basement, and we wwere talking. We were having a conversation, and I guess it was kind of upsetting some of the people on the line, but he didn't give a fuck. I mean, he's not a rude person by no means. Very humble, very nice, down to earth. You know, Strong Island guy. Strong Island means Long Island, and really, really cool Italian dude, man. I mean, you know, I remember this guy from the 80s and Karate Kid and, you know, other movies, and then My Cousin Vinny and stuff like that. So it was great talking to him. But of course, I always liked Carrie Fisher. I love her as Princess Leia, and she's a dope character. So it was like if Ralph Macchio and me were talking. So basically, the back of my hand would be him, and the front of my hand would be me. You know, obviously we're facing each other. So right here in this corner on that wall is Carrie Fisher. Literally, like, if there was one table for celebrities to be at, she would be at that second one coming back behind me. And she was just sitting there like this, chilling. You know what I mean? Like, she just came back from a break. And, you know, me and him had a good conversation. As I was walking away, I was a lot heavier. And, but not as heavy, you know, I was like big, you know. And, you know, I had the Mr. T haircut. And I had a lot of my gold and stuff on. And she was like, dude, I'm digging the hair, man. I love the look. I mean, you know, the look suits you. She didn't say, you know, Mr. T, but we both knew. And I was like, thank you so much. And I said, I'm going to be seeing you pretty soon. And she said, I forgot what she said. I think she said no doubt or sooner than later or something like that. And I was going to come back that day, but I got caught up, you know, with, you know, for some reason JDF was kind of like, he was like, you know, he wasn't himself. Ever since that dude tried to kill him in that hotel room, and because it all happened that same year. And then whatever the fuck he was going on, he had some shit going on back between him and Sony. I know because I was listening to a lot of his phone conversations when I was escorting him to Q&A, to the Q&A building, and then from there, even upstairs in the offices, people from Sony wanted to talk to him because obviously he was supposed to have been bloodshot, but it wound up going to Vin Diesel. I still to this day haven't seen that movie. I just heard it sucked. And I think one of the main reasons why it probably really did suck and get rushed is because of the whole COVID thing. But, you know, everybody knows that, you know, a lot of these movie companies and TV program people and all that, they don't like stuff being disclosed. They like that shit to be nipped in the butt. And he was doing parody movies and stuff with Bat and the Sun and shit like that, with doing bloodshot skits and stuff, and I'm guessing it rubbed them the wrong way and they didn't like that. I'm not gonna really go into much of anything else. But you know, he had a lot of heated conversations where I've heard, and me and him spoke about a lot of things personally because he had my number and I had his and things of that nature. But I'm not gonna talk about anything else out of that. But I know he was having issues with Sony, with shit going on, and obviously it's fucking proof is in the pudding. I mean, I know more verbalizations behind it because I heard those conversations, but it's not my place to say. I mean, he's dead, gone and buried and everything, and, you know, the movie came out almost fucking 4 years ago, but evidently they went with a whole nother venue, but I'm going to keep my opinions to myself about that. But anyhow, so moving back on to this, I forgot what the fuck I was talking about. But anyway, oh yeah, the whole how I went to this and that. So that's why I wasn't able to go back and get the things talking about Carrie Fisher. But I knew I was going to see her again anyway, supposedly. And months later, this shit crushed me. I was really, really fucked up because she passed away. And the last thing I said to her was, hey, yep, I'm going to see you soon. And I pointed to her just like that. And she said, you better. And months later, she passes away. And the crazy shit is, like, I remember the whole thing with Roddy Piper. Back in the early 80s, I despised him, man. Especially that whole shit with him and Mr. T and all that, because everybody know I'm a huge Mr. T fan. I love Wesley Snipes and Mr. T. I'm on the same level. And that, anybody who know me know that's deep. And for a long time, it took me to stop disliking this dude. And ironically, it was the movie They Live. You know, when They Live came out, and he was a Louis Gossett Jr. Now, I met Louis Gossett Jr. a long time ago. And this brother, man, Louis Gossett Jr. he's a good dude, man. Like, he did a lot for a lot of young blacks. I mean, he even had like a home for troubled kids, upstate New York. I mean, you know, Louis Gossett Jr. did a lot of good shit for the community, and I mean, he was a really good dude. But anyway, so I always liked Louis Gossett Jr. Always heard about work he did with troubled kids and inner city shit and stuff like that, without even gaining or giving a fuck about recognition. Just pretty dope. He's the reason why I like Iron Eagle, the movie and stuff like that. You know. Anyway, getting back to that. So, you know, with Roddy Piper, now I just started liking him from that. And then when I seen him in, he was in 2 different movies with Billy Blanks in the 90s. Like, you know, these are B martial art movies that went straight to video. I can't remember both of the names of them. I distinctively remember one over the other. But they both were funny. And he was just like, you know, I think his name was Elmo or something like that in one of the movies. One of the movies he was a bounty hunter, and the other movie, I think I forgot. But anyway, he was in it. He was in 2 different movies with Billy Blanks. And it's funny. So between that, I start liking Roddy Piper a lot more. You know, they always say, you know, a person does a great character when people despise the character. You know, that just goes to show how good they acted. Because for a long time, I didn't like Dennis Hopper. Or, what's the guy who played the Incredible Hulk movie in 2008? Ed Norton. And now I like him. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy, man. But yeah, but then again, you're probably not shocked. You're like, man, shit, I'm not shocked, man. You don't like nobody. But anyhow, so I start liking Roddy Piper. And over the next decade or so, next thing you know, I meet this guy at the Big Apple event, I believe. And I mean, he wasn't as tall as I mean, Jake the Snake Roberts, that was, when I first met him, that was shockingly like, holy shit. Even Sergeant Slaughter, I never knew they were that fucking tall. These guys are huge. Because you know, like when they next to guys like Hulk Hogan and some of these other guys, like these guys are like 6'6", 6'7", 6'8". So they so big. So when you see guys like Jake the Snake being so skinny or so slim compared to everybody else, I never knew this motherfucker was that tall. And then when I saw Roddy Piper, he obviously was still taller than me, but shorter than Jake the Snake Roberts. But I'm like, holy shit. And he's like the nicest, sweetest guy you could fucking meet. And I remember him saying, oh, so you going with the Mr. T haircut, huh? And I was like, oh, don't start. And he just gave me, he just like, you know, like playfully put his arm around my head and was like, I'm just kidding with you. Like, just a fucking genuine nice guy, man. And that shit crushed me. That shit crushed me just as much because this is a guy I watch wrestling from Channel 5 on Saturdays to see him in all these movies. And I'm like, yo, now I'm meeting this guy in real fucking life. He signs my belt. We take a picture together and all this. And I'm like, yo, it's crazy. And then he passes away. So ever since his death, his untimely death, and Carrie Fisher being right there, now I go out of my way to get shit autographed and signed. If it's close enough to where I can say fuck it, I do that now. Only because, you know, a memory, even if it's just a selfie or hey, how you doing, that shit is a million times well more worth than any of this shit here. Because memories you take to your grave. This stuff, people get rid of this shit after your grave or don't, you know what I'm saying? So if you guys understand what I'm saying. So I really make it my business. Now the last time Fam, Erik, and Alex met up with Larry Hama, they met him in same building and everything, the Big Apple thing with Mike Carbonaro in the city. I think I was working that day. I was working in the flea market or something like that, and I just told them, you guys have a good time. So they went, and I think it was the winter time though, but they went. They had a ball. They had a ball, and it's funny. I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say because that's just a private, joke that we had this morning. So, but Larry Hama did say something that has something to do with some of the conversation we had. So we're all on borrowed time. So you know what I'm saying? So you don't know exactly, like this, you know what I'm saying? You just don't know if this guy might, you may pass away, he may pass away, he may not show up at a show. This is why I don't like wearing white t-shirts. I already stained and fucked my t-shirt up. Anyhow, so the story's long, obviously, like all my shit is, I always talk off the beaten path, but That's why now, I kind of, make way and kind of go out of my way to get shit autographed and signed, because you never know. You never know if something's going to happen to you, and you never know if something's going to happen to this individual. And, to this day, I still feel fucked up that I didn't get anything signed by Carrie Fisher. Personally, when she was like not even fucking 15 feet, maybe 20 feet from me. And I felt like I brushed her off and walked by her like she wasn't important. I just feel a certain way about it. I can't take it back. And she wasn't sitting there like disappointed or sad, because she had people coming up to her and shit like that anyway. But it's just, it's like, damn, when you think about it, if I could sit there or stand there and talk to Ralph Macchio and get Karate Kid shit signed and take photos and shit like that. But he was such a great guy. I could have, another fucking 10, 15, and I had the money on me, so another 10, 15 minutes wouldn't have killed me. So that hurts me. At least with the Roddy Piper, I got the pictures, I got the photo, and the experience of shaking his hand and being close to him and all that shit. So at least that with her, it was just like I'll see you soon. And nothing's guaranteed in life, man. Take advantage of life, because we're not promised anything except death. We're not even promised to be loved or love. We're just promised death. You know what I'm saying? So anyhow, enough of that morbid shit. So, there was some G.I. Joe stuff, but almost every person who had G.I. Joe, I wasn't impressed, even though they were all on card, because I had everything everybody had, I had. There's one guy who has some expensive shit. The same guy who has those Chikogans, they right here. I'm over here looking over here, and they right here. You can see that V vest thing on one of them. He also had some other shit too, but he had some Star Wars and some He-Man stuff. So I was like, hey, you got a Wonder Bread He-Man. It's funny now, since I collect the He-Man shit. You know how many Wonder Bread He-Mans I saw for anywhere from 400 to like 7, and so many toy conventions and shit. Now I need one, and there's nowhere to fucking be found. You know what I'm saying? And I know y'all saying, yeah, it's always like that. Yeah, I know, especially with me, with my fucking luck. But anyhow, moving on to what I did pick up before going to the toy show, because I had to meet fam Erik and Alex up there. Because, my truck's acting a little funny, so I got a guy, he's ordering parts and stuff, and it's crazy because the labor is about 6 to 8 hours of labor. And that's costing me more than the parts and everything. But what if I decide to take a long drive? I need that fix. I need my truck. You know what I'm saying? The truck is alright, but I prefer it to be on the up and up. You know what I'm saying? So so I have an appointment Friday coming up for that. And just other shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we didn't drive together. So, what I mean? Plus they live closer to each other. I'm not going to say where they live, because that's not my business to tell. But, they're more... They're still North Jersey, but... Well, actually, no, they're really south. I think they're central. They're more central Jersey. Whatever. Anyway, they're not too far from each other. Both of them are closer to each other than they are to me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know what I mean? So, I got to the Meadowlands late. There's one white kid that always used to walk around annoying me when he was trying to buy stuff. He had a van full of stuff. Of course, I got beat to the punch. One, I got there too late. Early bird always catches the worm. But some of the other guys, like Scottish Mike, Brian, and some of the other cats, they got some nice stuff off of him, like weapons and parts and stuff that I guess they knew what it was that they needed or whatever. But his prices weren't that bad for what he was selling each piece for. But when you got 20 to 30 pieces and you're asking $3 a piece, that's $100 right there. You know what I'm saying? And he did have the Knight Rider metal lunchbox, but I wasn't giving him $20 for it. It wasn't in the best condition, and it didn't have the thermos for that price. Some of y'all probably saying, "Oh, that's crazy. It's still worth it." Well, then you should have came and picked it up. For me, I look at it like that's another piece I don't need to go out there and try to find a fucking thermos for. If I'm gonna pay even $20 to $30 more than that, I prefer to have the thermos. That's one least. I mean, I don't need a lunchbox, but I would like to have it to display with my Michael Knight shit or Knight Rider shit. But you know, anyway, so let's move on to this right here. So this is what I got. I got this, and then I got that. I got this from this old white dude named Joe. I call him Cranky Joe at times because he's always fucking cranky, even worse than me. But you know, this is something. I mean, it's not exactly like the thing Monster Bill had because he had like little compartments, but I brought it anyway. You know, he was like $30. I mean, I'm pretty sure I probably could have talked him down to 20 or 25 on them, but sometimes I don't like to do that. Sometimes I just like paying what because you know people remember that. So when you pay what they want sometimes, and then when you get a lot of other stuff from them, they'll give you a better deal. Because I do that. But anyway, let's look at the box. And ironically, I gave him. Actually, since I mentioned his name, I'm not gonna say what I paid for this, but I got a good deal for this box. This stuff I got from two different people. I got this from this kid I know from the flea market. He's a mailman, and his name is Chris. So he hooked me up with these three. Ironically, I mean I sold a lot of this garbage, but now since I just fucking now decided to go full blast into all these G.I. Joes, what the fuck, right? So now I got these three. He gave me a good deal on these and a figure here, so I did him a favor. One favor, deserves another. So got this Superman. I love the DC classic figures. I love these DC classic figures, man. I think they're way better than these and the old and the multiverse right before McFarlane started doing them. But he gave me a good price on the 4 of these items, so I'll add him to my other bin of stuff that I'm reaccumulating. And he gave me a good. I mean, he had these the last time, so I know nobody wants these. And it's funny because my G.I. Joe lady sold these. She was at one point, I think I gave her $5 or $4 each on these. You got the Zartan Spy Troops. Then we got Rakondo. And we got a 2-pack. And these are all 3 G.I. Joe versus Cobra. So here we got Red Spot and Cobra coils. So, as they say in Australia, put more shrimp on a barbie. So these are more figures I could put in my book, which is ironic considering that I forgot to take the books with me today, but it didn't matter because there was nothing for me to know that I needed. And that kid, he actually did have parts of that Battle Corps, or whatever the hell they call it, the Battle Corps robot, that real big one. There's one I still need, but he probably did have missiles, and the guys took them. I don't know, because mine is in perfect condition. His was like yellowed and disgusting. And this Black Brother, I didn't go back. By the time I went to AJ, whatever he had, if he had anything, was too late because it was probably gone by that time. But I did go anyway. And the Black Brother, who comes out there with a lot of stuff, he had a lot of toys and whatnot. But these guys here, I paid $12, $3 each on these, brand spanking new. You're like, what? 10? Yeah, $10. I mean, $12. So we got the DC Multiverse Batman. I know who I'm gonna be selling this stuff to. We got Marvel's whatever her name is, Bonnery. We got the Supervillains Jigsaw. Look what he did to my face. And then we have Marvel's Moonstone. Never even heard of her before. So I paid $12 for the 40s, and I would gladly get $10 each on them. So I basically made a $32 profit just on these 4. Because, you know, the deal we made is if I get any sealed comic book characters, he'll buy them all for 10 each unless they're higher, bigger, I mean more expensive or higher stuff. Then he'll give me more. He'll give me like $30, $40 depending on what it goes for. Because, you know, he doesn't give a shit, you know. Because he's already getting a good deal from me. So, yeah, to that stuff. And then this stuff I got from Joe. It was just sitting out there. I mean, I thought for the price he had it, I was like, fuck it. Not great, but we got this piece from He-Man. We got this piece. These ain't shit. We got the ripped whatever thing, also from He-Man. Got this piece of Snake Mountain Bridge. That's probably the most expensive thing I took out so far. You got the horse. The horse is actually missing the tail, the helmet, and the right side gun. But don't matter. We got Cyclonus. I think that's his name. We got Ram Man, kind of jacked up, but whatever. King Hiss, right? Part of him. I don't know what this is. This is beat up, so I'll throw this shit in the garbage. And we got a piece of the McFarlane Yellow Submarine guys. This is like the hand. I mean, there's a good chance I don't think I wasted the money on this stuff, but I don't think I did good neither. This plastic thing, this is no good. Many faces, busted up. And we got a Cobra Stinger body. It'd have been great if the stand wheel was in there, but still no. What is this? Nothing. We got a Spike Orb, that's his name, with no legs. We got a Dirty Tila. Got some Transformer parts. Tonka race car. Busted up Army Man. Garbage. Couple little crusty cars. On the ambulance, Red Alert, or whatever his damn name is, Ratchet, I think. Just his body. And we got Huffer missing the arm. This was in there, a Snake Eyes. The 25th anniversary Snake Eyes. I mean, oh, and it's an Orko, no hat. So yeah, I mean, just parts. So, what are you gonna do? To be honest, what I paid for this, I'd probably be lucky if I just get my money back for it, because I don't think nobody else will want it. Sometimes this is the way the nature of the beast, man. I mean, I probably overpaid for this. Probably definitely did. Some of y'all probably like, oh, you probably didn't. Well, yeah, I probably did. I don't need to show you guys this. You can see it from here. It's laying on the side. This is an acrylic with a back mirror. I think these are made more for makeup, but I think somebody brought some of this cheap guy. I call him Jerry Curl Man to myself. He walks funny, dressed funny. He's an asshole. He's gone bald right around here, and he's got curly long hair. Weirdo. He's a fucking weirdo. Cheapskate and a weirdo. But he was buying up all the military vehicles that Joe had in that, and I know if he brought them, they were cheap, because he doesn't spend money on shit. So he was taking all of them out of here, and there was 2 of them. Joe had 2 of these. I only need 1. And just in case you may ask or want to know, well, what are you gonna use that for? Well, I'm going to wipe it down, and I'm going to put the Battle Beast in here. Because I actually said, since everybody was trying to hit me in my head, I don't know why people in New Jersey think they're so slick. And I don't know why people would take a ghetto old nigga like myself and think that they can get over on me. A lot of people do that. Even people that's supposed to be cool with me. They all run the story. Yo, Mike, I don't really need this, or you can't do this deal and that. I just look at them and people really think they're smart. Like I'm stupid and they're smart. You're not as smart as you think. If I sell you something, it's because I got it cheap enough to win, or I don't really give a shit. Because anybody who knows me, I don't really need. Unlike a lot of people, I don't need to go to the flea market and sell or set up. Don't need to. I could sit back and just enjoy the ride, man. I do this stuff because it's something I like. It's something I like doing. You know what I'm saying? Not because I need to do it. I mean, don't get it twisted. Don't think I think I'm better than anybody. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just basically saying that, unlike a lot of individuals, I don't need to go and set up and do any of that shit. I do it because I choose to. But anyhow, moving on. So, outside of that, I know I showed you guys these already, so I'm not going to really go crazy. But this is the book. The guy wanted $125 on it. It is the newsstand edition. Really, really good condition book. So, as you see, it says to Mike, Larry Hama, 2024. And behind it, I got 2 books. I got 302, which Larry Hama signed that as well. This is a beautiful picture of Scarlet. And I mean beautiful in every way. Look at this. That's beautiful. It's a nice portrait of her. And then I have this book. I think this is 303. Yeah, so we got 302 and 303. So we got this black and white. It's a pen tool on the back. I mean, it's a pen tool in black and white. It says to Mike, Larry Hama. See, Larry Hama, what he does is he does something smart. He'll give you a couple of free, as long as you're getting stuff personalized to yourself, he'll sign the stuff for free. But if you want a signature and if it's not personalized to you, he charges. And let's see what the other one is, because you guys didn't see much. So this is actually like a real marble print, like a title print. Of course, they did it upside down, but I like prints like this. And you can't get better than Timber, Snake Eyes, and Storm Shadow. And as you see here, there you have signed by him. Okay. And then back here we have another 303. Just like Serpentor, this is... See, Erik took the blank one. Erik took the one I didn't say G.I. Joe on it, which is probably badass, but I just wanted this one. Really, really nice. And, of course, he signed it, too. He didn't put to Mike, though, but he just signed it. So I took these 3 books. Really, really nice. Well, these 3 comics, really, really nice. And then outside of that, I forgot the name of the guy, but I'm pretty sure Fam Erik or Alex is gonna, you know, say there's something Gary, a catchy name. He's on YouTube, and yeah, got this one from him. He gave me a good deal on this one, and it's funny because the number 1 that I got from the other guy, he had 125 on it, right? And this one he had 200 on it, and it's a graded book, CGC. This dude also had the last one, but I didn't take it because it's I think it's CSBC. I don't know. It's like another grading company. I don't take those books because all my books I like CGC. Being that my whole fucking hallway got graded books in it from CGC, I just prefer to stick with that. I kind of have like OCD like that. I'm just like a completist like that. I'm a weird dude, and that was a nice book, but if it was CGC, it would have came home. You know, can you imagine to have the first and last? But again, and this is 8.5. So, and it again, it's the newsstand edition. So 8.5. I didn't pay 200. I got a deal on this one, and I got a deal on that number 1. I didn't pay 125 on it, but the fact that, think about it though, you get 2 of the same books, right? Now, if you had to choose between both number 1s, I mean, it makes sense to get this one, especially if Larry Hama is going to be there and it's a fucking first issue. I mean, that's a no-brainer. But let's say if you were just at a comic convention and Larry Hama wasn't there, or even if he was and you wasn't going to get it signed, which one would you pay for? Would you pay $125 for the number 1 newsstand edition, or would you take a chance on paying an extra $75 to get the same fucking book graded, which is protected, and again it's a graded book? So I would spring to pay the extra $75 to get it graded than this. But you're probably asking yourself, well, why'd you pay? Well, listen, I paid one. The guy knocked off $15. Fam Alex and him. Oh, thank you.
Sorry, I forgot.
Yeah, I know you forgot, you little bastard. So Fam Alex and and Fam Erik talked me into both of these books. Talked me into them in a good way. Sometimes it's good to deal with individuals and constructive criticism, especially if it works in your favor and you need the books. And yeah, it just makes sense. I don't fall under peer pressure, but I take friendly, good advice, and this is a good investment for both. You know what I'm saying? So if I send this out to be CGC'd, it's gonna come back, I think, with a green label or something, not yellow, because yellow is when CGC is there to witness the signature. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I got 2 of the same book, one signed by him and one graded. Because I'm pretty sure if I send this one out to be graded, it's not gonna get. I don't think it's gonna be graded at 8.5 anyway. And since it is a number 1 G.I. Joe book and G.I. Joes are popping right now, CGC is gonna hit me in my fucking head for this book anyway. So yeah, so that's basically that stuff. Sometimes as a collector you become very indecisive. Oh yeah, and I also got this. This was also in hold on. This is also in that box. I forgot. I'm talking to y'all and I totally forgot. So this is the reason why. Not only that Snake Eyes, but this is the reason why I did buy the box. But I guess I'll just tell y'all, I paid $20 for that box. The box, this Hamilton Beach toaster box with the stuff in it. So you're probably like, what? Yeah, I did. I definitely did. And this G.I. Joe chick was in there. I'm not too sure if I have her or not. But, you know, that was also in here. It was that 21st anniversary type Snake Eyes, and then her. I know she's from the newer line. I just don't remember exactly who she is. I think she's a Scarlet. I may actually have her already. I don't have her here, but I may actually have this chick. But whatever. But anyway, y'all, that's enough of me rambling. That's it. So, peace out.